Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to SoulSpace Podcast number 127 on
Welcome.
this another blizzard day already. Seems like winter just started a couple weeks ago, and now we've had two blizzards already.
Well, it did. So it's true, actually.
Yeah, yeah. So we are each in our own homes, and we're trying to stay warm. Actually, it's not that cold. It's just really blustery.
Yes, it is.
Snowing,
Lots of wind.
icky, icy, not good. But we're nice and cozy where we're at.
Yep. Welcome to North Dakota.
Yeah. So we're going to stay with our theme for this month, Peace for the Season. And today we're going to talk about breaking free. And we're going to go over some stuff. One of my favorite books, again, another one, Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth. This book, I went through a class with him and Oprah actually online a long time ago. Gosh, I bet it was 10 years ago or so. I think when this book first came out. Um, and it was really, really good. I learned a lot about meditation and how to just quit that monkey mind. And and he talks about the pain body, and that's kind of what he calls the monkey mind. Excuse me, my voice is going today. Um, so this part is about breaking free of that, and it's a really good little chapter. We're going to break out a few pieces out of it and discuss it, and it really helps you have more peace in your life when you can quiet that monkey mind or pain body down. So
And other people call it the ego, too.
yeah.
There's different words for the same thing.
Right. And he does call it the ego a lot in this book, but
It's just a common wording for it.
yeah, yep. Yeah, it's really good. I hope you guys will enjoy it with us.
Yeah, something new today. We
Yeah,
both have it.
yeah,
Shocking, right?
yeah,
We have the same books.
yeah,
Surprise.
yeah. This would be a good one to do a book study on sometime too.
It would, you're right.
It's really good. Yeah. All right. I'll start out and then we'll take turns, huh?
Sounds perfect.
Okay, so we're going to start with chapter 6, and it's called Breaking Free. The beginning of freedom from the pain body lies first of all in the realization that you have a pain body. Then, more important in this is your ability to stay present enough, alert enough to notice the pain body in yourself as a heavy influx of negative emotion when it becomes active. When it is recognized, it can no longer pretend to be you and live and renew itself through you. So you can actually quiet it down and let yourself think instead of that negative Nelly in the back of your head. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It is your conscious presence that breaks the identification with the pain body. When you don't identify with it, the pain body can no longer control your thinking and so cannot renew itself anymore by feeding on your thoughts. The pain body in most cases does not dissolve immediately, but once you have severed the link between it and your thinking, the pain body begins to lose energy. Your thinking ceases to be clouded by emotion. Your present perceptions are no longer distorted by the past. The energy that was trapped in your pain body then charges its vibrational frequency and is transmuted into presence. In this way, the pain body becomes fuel for consciousness. This is why many of the wisest, most enlightened men and women on our planet once had a heavy pain body. Regardless of what you say or do, or what face you show to the world, your mental emotional state cannot be concealed. Every human being emanates an energy field that corresponds to his or her inner state, and most people can sense it, although they may feel someone else's energy emanation only subliminally. That is to say, you don't know that they sense it, yet it determines to a large extent how they feel about and react to that person. Some people are most clearly aware of it when they first meet someone, even before any words are exchanged. A little later, however, words take over the relationship, and with words come the role that most people play. Attention, when then moves to the realm of mind, and the ability to sense the other person's energy field becomes greatly diminished. Nevertheless, it is still felt on an unconscious level. That I really like that he talked about that, because some people don't realize that they're sensing the energy when you meet someone and you feel like, ooh, or you want to close up, and you don't want to take on their energy. And that's why. It's because it's unconsciously sensed. You don't realize that that's what it is. But and some of us do, if you've been studying this kind of stuff for a long time like us. But a lot of times people don't really understand that that's what's going on when you don't feel good when you meet somebody, or you feel standoffish.
Right. Right. It's just it's your vibration and their vibration are not matching up for whatever reason that could be. That could be for a lot of reasons.
Right.
But people don't always, like you said, don't always realize when they first meet somebody, why do I feel this way about this person? I really don't know them at all. I don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
Why do I feel that way? But it's what they're sending out, and it's not a match to what you're sending out. And you
Right.
feel that discord and that dissonance. And
Yeah.
it's about, why could that be?
Yeah.
Why could that be? Why is that vibration not syncing up with mine? What's going on there?
Yeah. Yeah. And it might, I mean, it doesn't mean that they're a bad person or anything like that,
No,
but they might just have a underlying negativity, or a bad mood, or they haven't had a good day, so they're putting out that negative energy at the time that you meet them. So
right.
don't always take that first instinct when you meet someone. Wait till you get to know them a little bit more before you judge them, or
'Cause it might just be they're anxious.
right.
Maybe
Yeah.
they're really anxious in meeting people for the first time,
Yeah.
and that comes off, and you can feel that, and you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's because they're so anxious that you're feeling their anxiety,
Right.
and you don't know how to interpret that because maybe you're not used to knowing what energy means when it comes from other people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, if they're doing it, especially subconsciously, they're not going to realize necessarily why that is. So there could be a million reasons why you feel that discomfort or that discord or the mismatch in
Mhm.
energy. And it could be situational,
Yeah.
or it could be something about that person that doesn't resonate with you. And all of that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We don't
Either
resonate
way
with
through,
everybody.
huh? Yeah.
We can't resonate with everybody. We're not all going to be best friends. And that's
Yeah.
okay. We're not meant to be. We're all meant to be unique.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. All right.
Okay. We're going to jump a little bit in this book, if you have it, to the section entitled Breaking Identification with the Pain Body. And for me, it's on page 174 is where it starts.
Me too.
Still in chapter 6.
Yeah.
A person with a strong, active pain body has a particular energy emanation that other people perceive as extremely unpleasant. When they meet such a person, some people will immediately want to remove themselves or reduce interaction with him or her to a minimum. They feel repulsed by the person's energy field, kind of like what we just talked about.
Yeah.
Others will feel a wave of aggression towards this person, and they will be rude or attack him or her verbally, in some cases, even physically. This means there is something within them that resonates with the other person's pain body. When they react so strongly, when they relax, oh goodness, words. When they react, what they react to so strongly is also in them. It is their own pain body. Not surprisingly, people with heavy and frequently active pain bodies often find themselves in conflict situations. Sometimes, of course, they actively provoke them, but at other times they may not actually do anything. The negativity they emanate is enough to attract hostility and generate conflict. It requires a high degree of presence to avoid reacting when confronted by someone with such an active pain body. If you are able to stay present, it sometimes happens that your presence enables the other person to disidentify from his or her own pain body and thus experience the miracle of sudden awakening.
I love
Although the awake okay.
that part. We can help change somebody else's mood by just holding our own space like that. And it's so good.
And what's interesting about that is it's all law of attraction.
Yeah.
What he's talking about is when you're experiencing your pain body, you're emanating that out from yourself and you're attracting that back through law of attraction. It's the same thing. It's different words and different ways of perceiving it. And that's what I love is there's a common thread,
Yeah.
and all the major players in the field of spirituality and meditation and presence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although the awakening may be short-lived, the awakening process will have become initiated. And that makes so much sense to, all of this, law of attraction. It just makes sense. If you are holding yourself in the present moment, in a good feeling space, and you're emanating that out from you the whole time, no matter what's going on around you, you begin to attract that into your experience. So that lifts other people up. When you lift yourself up, it lifts everyone up around you, whether they're aware of it in that moment or not.
Yeah.
One of the first such awakenings that I witnessed happened many years ago. My doorbell rang till 11 o'clock, close to 11 o'clock at night. My neighbor Ethel's anxiety-laden voice came through the intercom. "We need to talk. This is very important. Please let me in." Ethel was middle-aged, intelligent, and highly educated. She also had a strong ego and a heavy pain body. She escaped from Nazi Germany when she was an adolescent, and many of her family members perished in the concentration camps. Ethel sat down on my sofa, agitated, her hands trembling. She took letters and documents out of the file she carried with her and spread them out all over the sofa and floor. At once I had a strange sensation, as if a dimmer switch had turned the inside of my entire body to maximum power. There was nothing to do other than remain open, alert, intensely present with every cell of the body. I looked at her with no thought and no judgment and listened in stillness without any mental commentary. A torrent of words came out of her mouth. "They sent me another disturbing letter today. They are conducting a vendetta against me. You must help. We need to fight them together. Their crooked lawyers will stop at nothing. I will lose my home. They are threatening me with dispossession." It transpired that she refused to pay the service charge because the property managers had failed to carry out some repairs. They in turn threatened to take her to court. She talked for 10 minutes or so. I sat, looked, and listened. Suddenly, she stopped talking, looked at the papers all around her as if she had just woken up from a dream. She became calm and gentle. Her entire energy field changed. Then she looked at me and said, "This isn't important at all, is it?" "No, it isn't," I said. She sat quietly for a couple more minutes, then picked up her papers and left. The next morning she stopped me in the street, looking at me somewhat suspiciously. "What did you do to me? Last night was the first night in years that I slept well. In fact, I slept like a baby." She believed I had done nothing to her. But she believed I had done something to her, but I had done nothing. Instead of asking what I had done to her, perhaps she should have asked what I had not done. I had not reacted, not confirmed the reality of her story, not fed her mind with more thought and her pain body with more emotion. I had allowed her to experience whatever she was experiencing in that moment, and the power of allowing lies in non-interference, non-doing. Being present is always infinitely more powerful than anything one could say or do, although sometimes being present can give rise to words or actions. I really love that he says that because for me, there's nothing more powerful than to sit and listen with complete non-judgment
Yeah.
and just fully hear someone,
Yeah.
not thinking about what you want to say next, not thinking about your reaction, not thinking about your to-do list for later and ignoring what they're saying and just pretending to listen, but
Right.
being actually present and listening to someone
Yeah.
has the power to completely change how they feel, completely change their own reaction to the situation so that they can respond and help them to bring themselves down and calm down so that they can reevaluate the situation.
Yeah.
I know that for myself when I was doing counseling with people, and even in my spiritual work, especially.
Hmm.
My work is to be 100% present in that moment,
Yeah.
no interference. And
Right.
that's where the most powerful change happens for people is when they know that you're 100% present with them.
Yeah.
And so much change happens in that moment. And you can do this in your own life. You can do this in your professional life. It's a wonderful, magical, amazing thing just to be fully present.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like the magic of communication. You won't believe the things that happen in
Right.
just being present.
Yeah.
It seems so simple, and it is, but sometimes it's difficult in practice for people to clear their mind and get out of all of the other stuff happening around and just be.
Yeah.
And that's where, for us, meditation comes in. It teaches you that, but also things like this to just, okay, everything else, I'm going to set it to the side. I'm just going to be 100% with her because
Yeah.
she needs that right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Exactly.
What more could you
Everybody
do?
wants to be heard in their
Mhm.
life, and a lot of people aren't. Even, even if it's rambling on to somebody, they need to get that out. So, be okay and listen, and and allow them to get it off their chest or whatever, just so that they can feel heard, because that's one of the most important things you can do for any relationship. And
Yes.
it's so good and so healing to do. Yeah.
Right. And some people have no one to hear what they have to say.
Right. Right.
So how special is it to be that person that hears them?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a magical thing. It really, really is.
Yeah. So, yeah. Perfect. You're gonna keep going a little bit more?
So that one, yes, sorry. What happened to her was not a permanent shift, but a glimpse of what is possible, a glimpse of what was already within her. In Zen, such a glimpse is called satori. Satori is a moment of presence, brief stepping out of the voice in your head, the thought processes, and the reflection in the body as emotion. It is the arising of inner spaciousness where before there was a clutter of thought and turmoil of emotion. The thinking mind cannot understand presence and it so often will misinterpret it. It will say that you are uncaring, distant, have no compassion, or are not relating. The truth is, you are relating, but at a level deeper than thought and emotion. In fact, at that level, there is a true coming together, a true joining that goes far beyond relating. In the stillness of presence, you can sense the formless essence in yourself and the other as one. Knowing the oneness of yourself and the other is true love, true care, true compassion.
Mm. Yeah, that's so good.
I love that. I love that. I absolutely love that. And it's just so true. being truly present with someone in complete non-judgment. What could be more loving than that?
Right. Yeah.
Just
Nothing.
beautiful.
Nothing.
Nothing. I mean, I completely agree. And it's fun that he talks about Zen
Yeah.
because one of my favorite books on meditation is a book on Zen meditation,
Yeah. Very cool.
which maybe I'll bring up at some point, but I
Yeah.
have it downstairs and I can't remember the author name, so I'll do it another time. I could see the cover of the book and I was like, oh, who wrote that?
I'm
Who
like
wrote
that.
that?
I have a hard time remembering authors' names.
Yeah,
But
it's like I just need to have the book in front of me, but I didn't think about it
yeah.
beforehand, so here we are.
All right. Okay, so now we're going to skip to page 180
Yes.
and do the pain body as an awakener. In first sight, it may seem that the pain body is the greatest obstacle to the arising of a new consciousness in humanity. It occupies your mind, controls and distorts your thinking, disrupts your relationships, and it feels like a dark cloud that occupies your entire energy field. It tends to make you unconscious, spiritually speaking, which means totally identified with mind and emotion. It makes you reactive. It makes you say and do things that you are designed to increase the unhappiness within yourself and the world. As unhappiness increases, however, it also causes increasing disruption in your life. Perhaps the body can't take the stress anymore and develops an illness from some dysfunction. Perhaps you become involved in an accident, some huge conflict situation or drama that was caused by the pain body's desire for something bad to happen. Excuse me. Or you become the perpetrator of physical violence. Or it all becomes too much and you cannot live with your unhappy self anymore. The pain body, of course, is part of that false self. Whenever you get taken over by the pain body, whenever you don't recognize it for what it is, it becomes a part of your ego. Whenever you identify with, turns out, whatever you identify with turns into ego. The pain body is one of the most powerful things the ego can identify with, just as the pain body needs the ego to renew itself through it. That unholy alliance, however, eventually breaks down in those cases where the pain body is so heavy that the egoic mind structures, instead of being strengthened by it, are becoming eroded by the continuous onslaught of the pain body's energy charge in some way that an electronic device can be empowered by an electric current, but also destroyed by it if the voltage is too high. People with strong pain bodies often reach a point where they feel their life is becoming unbearable, where they can't take any more pain, any more drama. One person expressed this by saying plainly and simply that she was fed up with being unhappy. Some people may feel, as I did, that they cannot live with themselves anymore. Inner peace then becomes their first priority. Their acute emotional pain focuses them to disidentify from the content of their minds and the mental emotional structures that give birth to and perpetuate the unhappy me. They then know that neither their unhappy story nor the emotion they feel is who they are. They realize they are the knowing, not the known. Rather than pulling them into unconsciousness, the pain body becomes their awakener, the decisive factor that forces them into a state of presence. However, due to the unprecedented influx of consciousness we are witnessing on the planet right now, many people no longer need to go through the depth of acute suffering to be able to disidentify from the pain body. Whenever they notice they have slipped back into a dysfunctional state, they are able to choose to step out of identification with thinking and emotion and enter the state of presence. They relinquish resistance, become still and alert, one with what is within and without. The next step in human evolution is not inevitable, but for the first time in the history of our planet, it can be a conscious choice. Who is making that choice? You are. And who are you? Consciousness that has become conscious of itself. Isn't that cool?
That's really cool.
I love that it speaks of the God within us. You know, it's not just us, it's who is or what is making us alive or breathing us or breathing us into life, really.
I think it's really beautiful how he talks about it and how he talks about we have a choice.
Yeah.
That one statement that I received in one of my darkest hours was that literally the words, you have a choice.
Yeah.
And that completely shifted everything for me.
Right.
And so from that one statement, and then he's making the statement here too, that we have a choice.
Yeah.
What are you going to choose? What do you want? Right? We always talk about that. What do you actually want? Do you want to be able to live in peace and presence more often?
Yeah.
Ask for that.
Yeah.
Put it out there and then begin to align with it. There's so many tools in this book and so many tools and ask and it is given and you can heal your life and all of these things to become in alignment with the peace that lives inside yourself, with that higher self, that soul self, that piece of you that is one with the creator of all that is, with God, with the source of all life, right?
Yeah.
And so I really like that. Like you have a choice. Do you want to stay in the pain body and that heaviness and the emotional state and the mind part, the part of your mind that's the negative part of your mind that was created after you came here to this planet through your experiences and other people's influence, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
Right.
Or do you want to come back to that part of yourself that's truly present in the now moment, that peace part of yourself that is always calling you to love, to peace, to compassion, to the absence of fear? You get to choose. You get to choose. You get to make that decision. And then you get to move forward towards that. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that empowering?
It is very empowering. Yeah. Yep. So good. I have a sign, back there, the black one. It says, "Today I choose joy." And I read it almost every day when I walk through. I'm working in the studio here. It's just something to remember. It's your choice. You have to choose that every day if that's what you want in your life. So, yeah, very powerful.
Right. And you get to choose. You get to choose.
Yeah.
And that's a happy thing. Make the choice and see what happens from there.
Yeah.
And if you make the choice every day, well, isn't that beautiful? Because then every day you're renewing the energy of what you're choosing, which, choose joy, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
I do too.
I love it.
It's amazing.
Everyone's like, these people are nuts. This will never going to work. And then people come back to me 2 years later and they go, oh my God, brought my sister to you because I didn't believe what you were talking about at first. And then all of a sudden, like, my life is way better. So here's this next person.
I guess it works. Yeah.
I guess it works. Crazy lady. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
It worked for me. So
yeah.
It works for other people too. Shocking.
Yeah.
I'm not that different from everybody else.
Right.
Like my niece told me a couple weeks ago, which was one of the most heartwarming things I think I've ever heard come out of anyone's mouth, was, you're not that weird at all. I stopped and like did this and went, thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's the sweetest thing anybody's ever said to
That is so
me.
good.
I just thought I'd give that little heartwarming tidbit.
That is good. Out of the mouths of babes, right?
It was wonderful.
Say
She's
the
5.
most amazing things. I just love them. Yeah.
I love
Mm,
it. Anyway, that was a fun aside.
yeah.
Back to this is one of my favorite parts of this section, so
Yeah.
I'm excited to read it. It's called Breaking Free of the Pain Body. We want to do that. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
We're on page 183 if you're following along. Question people frequently ask is, how long does it take to become free of the pain body? The answer is, of course, that it depends both on the density of an individual's pain body as well as the degree or intensity of that individual's arising presence. But it is not the pain body, but identification with it that causes the suffering that you inflict on yourself and others. It is not the pain body, but identification with the pain body that forces you to relive the past again and again and keeps you in a state of unconsciousness. So, a more important question to ask would be this: how long does it take to become free of identification with the pain body?
Hmm.
And the answer to that question is it takes no time at all.
It's your choice.
When it's your choice, you get to choose.
Right.
You get to choose in any given moment. You do. When the pain body is activated, know that what you are feeling is the pain body in you. This knowing is all that is needed to break your identification with it. And when identification with it ceases, the transmutation begins. The knowing prevents the old emotion from rising up into your head and taking over not only the internal dialogue, but also your actions as well as interactions with other people. This means the pain body cannot use you anymore and renew itself through you. Old emotion may then still live in you for a while and come up periodically. It may also still occasionally trick you into identifying with it again and thus obscure the knowing, but not for long. Not projecting the old emotion into situations means facing it directly within yourself. It may not be pleasant, but it won't kill you. Your presence is more than capable of containing it. The emotion is not who you are. When you feel the pain body, don't fall into the error of thinking there is something wrong with you, making yourself into a problem. The ego loves that. The knowing needs to be followed by accepting. Anything else will obscure it again. Accepting means you allow yourself to feel whatever it is you are feeling at that moment. It is part of the isness of the now. You can't argue with what is. Well, you can. If you do, you suffer. Through allowing, you become what you are: vast, spacious. You become whole. You are not a fragment anymore, which is how the ego perceives itself. Your true nature emerges, which is one with the nature of God. I think that, when we talk about our emotions, when we talk about moving up the emotional scale, we
Mhm.
always talk about figuring out where am I right now
Yeah.
and accepting that that's where I am
Yeah.
and deciding, is that where I want to be or not?
Right.
And if it's not, then how do I move myself up the scale? And he's really talking about that because it's about accepting what is and knowing that there's far better ahead and that you can choose to move toward it or you can choose to stay in the pain body, which is the ego, which is the negative self-talk and all of those things that are going on in that
Mhm.
space, right? You can't argue with what your current reality is, but what you can do is say, this is where I'm at, I accept it, and I want to move forward from here, and decide to do so.
Yeah.
And that's really what he's talking about. And then he says, your true nature emerges, which is one with the nature of God. And your true nature is to be in that satisfied space that goes, Life is amazing. I want more.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I want and where I want to head from here. And I get to choose what my life experience is going to be moving forward. I might have to peter this out a little bit because I've been vibrating this certain thing for a long time, a certain reality for a long time. That he says, it might come up still for a little bit. Because as you're raising your vibration, as it's staying more steady at that higher vibration, it
Mhm.
takes a little bit sometimes to create the snowball effect of that positive, what you've been wanting and asking for. Once you're in that space of receiving it, for it to actually start to become part of your physical reality. And he's saying, don't let it drag you down when those things happen,
Mhm.
because you are on the right path.
Yeah.
You just haven't seen it manifest physically in your reality yet. But if
Right.
you stay on that path, that dies away,
Yeah.
and the things that you want start to become your life,
Yeah.
right? So it's like being a conscious creator and recognizing that not everything happens right now, but I can also choose peace right now,
Yeah.
which allows me to move forward towards the things that I've wanted, because that's a higher vibration than
Mhm.
the negativity I've been living in.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're also gonna catch yourself if you keep telling the same story over and over that's hanging on, that's keeping you stuck there. You're When you're starting to come out of that pain body or that negative cycle, you'll catch it pretty soon and you'll be like, oh, I'm doing it again. Here I go. No, I'm not going to do it again. I'm
Yeah.
going to keep going forward and keep raising my vibration up.
Yeah.
And,
And
and
I absolutely love that. It reminds me of the epiphany I had on our podcast a couple weeks ago about my recurring story about communication and people communicating with me.
yeah, yeah,
And, since then so much has changed in that area. It's like unbelievable. And so it's about recognizing this is where I'm at and what story am I telling?
yeah,
And do I want to continue that story? Do I want to create a new one? Well, I said, no, I want to create a new one. And that's what I did.
yeah,
So it's about applying this too. And I know everybody can. You wouldn't be watching this podcast if you weren't able to do it.
right. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's just there's a small little tidbit here at the end of this chapter. It says, Jesus points to this when he says, be ye whole, even as your Father in heaven is whole. The New Testament's be ye perfect is a mistranslation of the original Greek word, which means whole. This is to say, you don't need to become whole, but be what you already are, with or without the pain body.
Yeah.
Because we are naturally whole. We are, this physical body
Yeah.
is a creation of ours to live this physical life. And
Hmm.
so to recognize that and go, okay, this is my creation.
Yeah.
What do I want to do with it? What do I want to create with it? What do I want to see for this physical experience in the future? Because I am a whole being.
Hmm.
And recognizing that the ego part of yourself that has come from other people and other influences may
Yeah.
be trying to tell you different, but recognizing within yourself and feel that resonance of I am whole. When you say that to yourself, you feel that resonance of truth. It feels good to say that, which means your soul knows that it's true.
It
We are
does.
all whole beings,
Hmm.
and there's nothing wrong with us.
No, it's
We
a
are who
piece.
we are and who we're meant to be, and we're at where we're supposed to be at. Now we have to decide, where do I want to go from here?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's our job.
Yeah.
Where do I want to go? What do I want to create next for my life?
Yeah. And and really that's our only job. Just where do I want to go next? Do I want to stay in this yuck if that's where I'm at? Or do I want to move forward and find something better? You know,
Right,
this or something better, right? Always
right,
looking for that next better step instead of staying in the muck. We can,
right. And if you're in a good place,
yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
what else is
Better.
there? How could it even get better than that, right,
Right.
Tracy?
Yeah. How
Because
do
it can.
you-
And
Yeah,
it's fun when it does.
absolutely can. Yeah.
It's fun when it does. Because I know, we're in good places ourselves. We enjoy every day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But we're continually progressing to more, continually progressing to better, continually progressing to touching more lives, continually progressing towards more of what we've asked for and more of what we want for our lives. And it's an exciting and wonderful journey. And we know that other people can get to that space too, and even better.
Yeah.
Maybe you are even in a better spot than that. And that's
Right.
perfect. I want to hear about that. That
Yeah.
sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm always open to learning from other people that are doing it too. So, wherever you're at, it's really always fun to hear about you guys and your experiences and what's going on in your lives to kind of enrich all of our lives.
Yeah. For sure. Awesome. That was a good one. I love revisiting this book. Um, it made me want to read it again. I haven't picked it up for a while until earlier today, so it
Yeah.
it's always a good one to
Right. And you
read.
know what I really like about this piece of presence? He talks a lot about being present for others,
Yeah,
but it's also really important being 100% present and non-judgmental with yourself.
yeah,
And how powerful that could be for yourself to just be like, I recognize that I'm going through something right now. How can I just be present in this exact moment to
yeah,
help myself move forward and to just not judge how I'm feeling or what I've done or what's been going on in my mind, to just listen and
mhm,
allow that to slowly quiet so that I can reach my own presence of
yeah,
just being right here with myself. How
yeah,
beautiful is that to listen to your own self and to feel your own presence?
mhm,
It does the same powerful things that it does for others. And that's one of the reasons that meditation is so useful, is because it gets us into that state of complete non-judgment presence with the right now. Because right now is where everything is created. There's only one moment. There's only a now moment, and everything either moves forward or backward from here.
yeah,
So to be able to be present and to feel that present moment is very powerful. And so if you can do a practice that gets you there,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
where a lot of the peace is. You're not worried about before or after or anything. You're just now.
yeah, yeah. It's so cool to notice yourself when you start to do that. See how much more calm you are throughout the day, how much more, you can handle stress a lot better when you start to center yourself and be be who you are. You know, get rid of that pain body and just be. And take a couple deep breaths once in a while throughout the day. If you feel that tension coming on, it's only a couple breaths away to calmness. Most of the time, you can head that off before it gets out of control. So, yeah, I love,
Right. And it's, moving yourself from the energy of the problem
yeah,
into the energy of the solution.
right, yeah,
It all really connects. It all goes together. It all makes sense in the different ways that we put it. It's just about, okay, which perception really fits in with what resonates with me.
yeah,
And that's why we like to say this in so many different ways and to bring in different authors and brilliant people that are on the forefront of this type of work, because each author, each way that somebody thinks about something brings in something new.
yeah,
And that's the beauty of it,
yeah,
of learning.
yeah,
Learning.
yeah, yeah. I love learning from different authors, and you even if you don't agree with everything that all of them say, there's going to be tidbits in each book or each one that you listen to, and a lot of it, like with him, a lot of, sometimes he gets a little wordy with his things like to read a sentence is a paragraph long sometimes, but but it's easier to hear him. He has such a soothing voice, and if you ever do Audible, this is a good book to listen to too. So, yeah, highly recommend Eckhart Tolle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And his books are not hard to find.
No.
I found mine at a thrift store, actually.
Yeah.
So it's easy to find.
Yeah. And it's fun to find them at a thrift store, and then you can give them to somebody, and let them enjoy it. Mine is highlighted and and marked on every chapter, but
Or you get it at the thrift store and you keep it because you hoard books.
right. Yeah. Like yeah, I have that major problem of hoarding books, but I
I
need
don't
to
see
start.
that as a problem. I see that as a bookshelf full of solutions
Yeah. You
and
never
entertainment.
Yeah, you can never be bored. If you have a storm day, there's plenty of books to read.
Oh yeah, I'm never bored.
No,
Boredom is not something I even remotely experience right now because there's always so much to do.
no, me
And
too.
I like it that way.
But when you're doing stuff that you love, it doesn't feel overwhelming at all.
Doesn't. You're right.
Yeah.
You're
So
right.
choose joy every day.
That sounds like a really good plan and I like it.
Yeah. So, Carissa, where can we find you on this wonderful world of webs besides here on YouTube, on our YouTube channel?
Yeah. Well, obviously we're on YouTube at SoulSpace Podcast.
Yep.
You can find me on Facebook at Light of Hope Healing. And you can find me on Facebook on our Facebook page, which is at Our Soul Space. And then you can find me on my Square page, which is light-of-hope-healing.square.site. Light of Hope Healing with a bunch of dashes in between .square.site. And you can find us in person this weekend on Saturday at our office in West Fargo. We're going to be doing our holiday market, which is going to be amazing. We have so many fun things. We have art from Tracy and original things. We have my angel smudge boxes. We have bath products that are handmade. We have um, wonderful bookmarks and signs and paper and things that Tracy have designed that nobody's seen yet, which I'm excited for people to see. I also have some designer bags,
Awesome.
both new and used for wonderful discounted prices. And there's just so many good things that we have this weekend. It's like you can get something for everyone on your list for shopping. So this Saturday, December 13th, 2025, from 10 to 4 at our office, Soul Space in West Fargo. And then Tracy, if people are wanting to look you up on the interwebs, as we call it, where could they find you to learn more about what you're doing right now?
You can find me at inspiredsignals.com, and all my links are there. But if you're just on Facebook, you can find me there at Inspired Signals and at Inspired Signals Studio to see my art stuff. I'm also on Instagram, same place as at Inspired Signals and at Inspired Signals Studio. But
Awesome.
website is easy. Just click on the link. You'll find me. And you'll find my favorite things that I like to promote on there. So, awesome.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Well, stay cozy tonight. Stay cozy tomorrow. Hopefully, you're not in ice storms where you're at or snowstorms.
Hopefully not.
But North Dakota is. So here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
I'm in space.
Stay calm. Take a breath. And we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.